Hi guys, Steve here, and in this video I'll be showing you how to set up your very own Ark Survival Ascended server easily, even if you've never set a server up before. So if you don't want to be forced to use an official or a Nitrado server, now you don't have to. And if this video is helpful, please like and subscribe, thank you. I had never set a server up before, so I had no idea how to do it. I tried watching some tutorial videos on how to set up a server, but after a few minutes of download these files and then move them all here, my brain locked up and I thought, okay, this is not going to happen. Until I found a server setup tool program created by some genius that automatically downloads and sets up everything for you. I've been testing it in the servers for the last few months and everything's been working perfectly. There are three main ways to host your own server: from a home PC, a remote PC, or virtual private server. There are dedicated servers as well, which is a machine all to yourself, but most likely you'd rent a virtual server. With a home PC, at your house you would have a second computer to host and run your Ark server. It could be an old PC or one you've set up to run as a server. It would need to be separate from your gaming PC because it needs to be on all the time. Well, to be on whenever you and your friends want to play. Then once your Ark server files and programs are set up, you can make the server live so you and your friends can connect to it via the internet. With a remote PC, you would have a computer away from your house in another building, like a college, work or business. When you have a server program and file set up, you will need to open a remote desktop to that PC so you can connect to it and control it when you're out of a building. Then when you're at home, you can remote connect to it with your computer, so you can make the server live, or take it down again if you need to update the server, or change any of your game server settings. Then when everything's set up, make the server live again, you and your friends can connect to it by the internet. For a virtual private server, you would rent a virtual private server from a server hosting company. They will give you the remote login details, so from your home PC, you can connect remotely to the virtual server, download and install all the Ark server files and program, change your settings you want, then when everything's set up, you can make your server live so everyone can connect to it. This is the easiest option for me and it's the one I went with. So now I'm going to show you step by step on how to set up a server. Relax, take your time and go slowly. And when you've learnt each simple step, move on to the next one. And by the end, you'll have your own server set up. Step 1. Get a server. I can only briefly go over the option of using a second computer as a server, as I didn't do it myself, but I will be doing a stage showing you how to install the server software on your computer, whether it's an old PC or one built for purpose. You'll need to open certain ports for your router to let people connect to your server PC. I didn't have a good enough second PC to run as a server. I didn't like the idea of a computer being on all the time. It'd be giving off noise and heat, and you still have to pay for your electric to run it anyway. So I thought the option of running a blank private server was a better one. Plus it just so happens I'm partnered with a server company, Ping Perfect, that offers different private server options for your choice. Here's the specs and prices. Show menu in the top left shows it in dollars, pounds and euros. We've done the cheapest option to run one Ark map server, and when new DLC maps come out you can upgrade later. But if you're not sure how many maps you want to run in the future, just talk to them beforehand and they'll help you out with the best server option for you. Links in the description box below. You'll get 10% discount on your first month if you use my promo code. One thing to note, a server company will help you out with any support you need to deal with your virtual private server, like how to access it or sort out any problems, etc. However, they will not and cannot help you with anything to do with setting up your Ark Survival Ascended server files. That's because they're not allowed to, due to the exclusive deal Nitrado signed with Snail Games, to stop other server companies hosting Ark Survival Ascended. That's why we have to rent a virtual private server, then install all the Ark server files ourselves. So if you have any problems at all with your Ark Survival Ascended server not working, you will have to try and sort it out yourself, by googling it, asking people on forums, friends, or you just working out and fixing the problem. Honestly, I was a bit nervous about that, as I'd never run a server by myself. I'd rented an Ark server before and changed the settings, but the thought of not being able to just put a ticket in and ask server support to fix a problem was a bit scary. But there was no way I was going to use a Nitredo server after the crap they've pulled. Official servers are just terrible. Single player doesn't work right. So the drive for me to host my own Ark server and play with friends pushed me to host my own, and I bet many of you think the same. And I'm glad I did, because of the making of this, mine's been running for over 3 months, and I've not had any problems. Well, apart from a one's wildcard and Nitredo have created, when changing the game code to try and make it more difficult for people to host their own servers. Right, you've rented your private virtual server, and they've sent you your login details. Now it's time for step 2, remote access your virtual private server. Go to your Windows search box and type remote. You are looking for Remote Desktop Connection. This is a program you'll be using to connect to your private virtual server. Click it and it'll open up the app. You might want to pin that to your taskbar, as you'll be using it every time you connect to your virtual server. Next, input the IP address you're given from your login details and press connect. And it'll ask for your credentials to log into the virtual server. Here, enter your username and password. Click the Remember Me tick box, otherwise you'll have to type those in every time you log in, and click OK. A remote desktop connection warning pop-up box will come up, but that's fine because you know it's a server you want to connect to. Just click yes. You can also tick the box Don't Ask Me Again, and that will connect you to your virtual private server. Here you have connected to the desktop of a server you have rented. Its desktop has filled the screen, so everything you do here will affect the rented server. To see your computer's desktop underneath this browser screen, all you got to do is click the little double window icon in the top middle. That will minimise your rented server screen and show your main computer desktop underneath. It takes a little time to get used to if you've not done this before, but once you get the idea that you're remote accessing a computer somewhere else and you're seeing that computer's desktop through a browser, everything becomes easier. Then to enlarge the remote desktop screen again, just click the little window icon and your virtual private server will fill the screen again. Step 3, download the server setup software. Now this process is the same whether it's on a virtual private server or a second computer you own. So for this demonstration, I'll be installing it on a second computer, which has Norton antivirus on, which will flag the server software as suspicious because it's a completely new program that hasn't been recognised by Norton yet. Virtual private servers won't get these pop-up warnings, as they only have a basic Windows Defender on. However, disclaimer, I take no responsibility of anything you click or download on your computer. Your virtual private server will be blank anyway, so there's no information on it. And if you're going to run your server from a second computer, it's best to install a fresh system and not have anything else on it that can interfere with running the server. Like you don't want to be playing resource-intensive games on your Ark server, or everyone in Ark will be experiencing server lag, stuttering, and it might crash, etc. Plus, I'm showing you the software being installed on my second computer because the first time I installed it on a virtual private server, I didn't know what I was doing and it was a bit messy, and I don't want to risk wiping my server that's been running for 3 months. So it'll be much clearer and cleaner installing it again fresh. Open up your web browser, go to the following address, github.com/ragons Ark server creation tool /releases. I'll also link it in the description box below. This will take you to the latest server creation tool exe. Click on it to download. Under it is enclosed the source code to show you that it's clean and has got no viruses in it. Next, drag the exe file to your desktop or wherever you want it. If you have some type of antivirus, it might flag it at this point. Let's look what it sees it as. I was expecting that, so click restore. It tells you what it is, and then I click yes, and it will put the file back to where it downloaded it. Drag it to the desktop again. With Windows Defender, you just get one pop-up warning, that's it. So ignore all that if you don't have Norton. Right, next, run the program as administrator. A pop-up will come up asking to install .NET Desktop Runtime. Click yes, it'll take you to the web page, which will automatically start downloading. Next, go to Downloads, open the folder where it is, and run it. Install window will come up, click Install. Wait till it finishes. Click Close. Close these windows, you don't need them. So we've downloaded 2 programs and installed 1. The antivirus stuff just made it seem more complicated than it actually was. Now on to step 4, installing the server files. You'll be surprised how easy this bit is, thanks to the program you just downloaded. Right click and run the program exe. Now you need to select the folder where you're going to install everything. Click Browse, select the folder where you want to put all the server files in. I'm going to put it on C drive, create a new folder, and I'm going to call it Ark Survival Ascended. Put Island in the title as well. You might need to make it clear if you're installing other maps later on. Select folder, then go to Save Configuration. An updater box will pop up, then click the Update Game Files button. And all the server files you need will be downloaded and stored in that folder you created. At this point you can have a rest of 5 minutes, because all the server files are being downloaded and set up by that server creation tool. It's just downloading, so I'll skip forward 5 minutes until it's nearly done. It's almost done. There you go, it's finished. All the server files have now been downloaded and installed. I'm just going to click Update Game Files again to double check everything's installed fine. The Norton antivirus will probably flag it again. Yeah, there you go. You won't get this on your virtual private server. Click View Details. This comes up because the server creation tool needs to add and delete files. That's why it's getting flagged. Exclude process so you don't get a warning again. Close it, and that's the last time you have to mess around with your antivirus. Run that update again. I just like to double check everything's okay. It should be really quick this time, as all the files are installed, and it's just checking for any updates. There we go. We're done, so click Continue. And that's all the downloading done. Step 5, the Server Creation Tool Control Panel. This is a Server Tools control panel that brings up your different functions. This app is new and still in development, so they'll probably add more options later, but I'll take you through it and show you what we've got at the moment. Open Configuration, shows you where the server files are kept, and the Launch Augments is where you put the mod codes for events like Turkey Trial and Winter Wonderland. I'll be showing you how to do that shortly. Open Updater is where to go when there's a server update and there's new files to download. You click Update Game Files and it'll download the latest patch for your server. The first time you've installed the server files, you'll need to click Open Game User Settings.ini config, and it'll say the Game User Settings file is missing and do you want to create one. You'll need to click Yes for this. And this is where you change all your server settings, like the server name, the farming rates, time of day, etc. If you've not rented a game server before, it could look a bit overwhelming, as each line of code alters something on the server. But after a while you'll get used to it and understand how it works, and you'll be able to set up your server just how you like it. Most of the settings are changed here, but a few, like mating and breeding, needed to be added in a different file. So next go to Open Game ini config. Again it will say there's no file there, do you want to create it? Click Yes. And it'll open up for the first time and be empty. Here you would put codes of line to do with mating and breeding, and we'll do that in a minute. That's it, everything's installed to get your server working now. All that's left to do is change some server settings. Step 6, change server settings. Click on the button to open your game user settings.ini and scroll down. You are looking for server settings in brackets. There we go, and this is where we change all our server settings. Next I'm going to copy and paste the lines of code I've added myself from my server. I'll add them in the description below. The first thing you want to do is add a server password to stop people you don't want to joining your server. There we go. Then if you want to, you can add a server admin password that gives you admin commands once you're in game. They can be in any order, but the main codes of line in there is that I've got harvesting and taming multipliers on ×4. And to get level 150 dinos on your map, difficulty offset needs to be 1, and override official difficulty needs to be 5. Then TribeLogDestroyedEnemyStructures turns on tribe logs that tells you if anyone's attacked your buildings. The main thing was adding your server password. Then from there, scroll down right to the bottom, and under session settings, session name is a name of your server. So type in what you want to call your server, go to file, then save. That'll save all your changes. Close that and then go to open game INI. And I'm going to copy and paste my code lines I use. These are mainly to do with breeding. Then once you put those in, go to file and save. Close that down. You're finished. All you've got to do now is start your server. A black window will appear telling you the server's starting up. It'll give you server info. Plus when anyone joins your server, it will show you their IP address at the bottom. That's standard with server software. You'll need to leave this software running while your server's up. All you got to do now is go in game and search for your server name. Join it and make sure your server's working fine. Step 7, updates and events. Whenever there's a patch for a game, you'll need to update your server, or your game won't see it. It's really simple to update. You'll need to stop your server, click Open Updater, click Update Game Files in the bottom left. The program will check the files and update them. If there aren't any updates, it'll go really quick, but if there are updates, it'll take some time to download them. There we go, once that's done, if you've got any changes to game settings, you can make them now. But if not, just click Start Server. The server will start up again, show you its status, and that's how you update. If there was an Ark Ascended event on, like Turkey Trial or Winter Wonderland, they will post a mod code to install it. Click the Override Launch Augments tick box, then copy and paste a mod event code that Wildcard gives you on the Community Crunch. They only supply you the last section, mods equals then a number. This didn't work for me, so I contacted the server tool creator and they supplied me the extra code line to go before it, and that worked fine. So try the mods equals code first, and if not, try the whole code line. I'll link in the description box. Click Save Config, then update your server again to download any mods if you need to. Wait for it to finish. It's complete, so click Exit. Everything is done, so start your server up again. The black window will open and you're done. When anyone joins your server, their IP will show. That's fine. And leave the software on and running. Otherwise, if you close it down, your server will close down. Step 8. Find and join your server. Log into Ark Survival Ascended, then click on Press to Start. Then click Join Game, and this will take you to all the different server options. At the moment, the servers are unofficial. You have an unofficial server, so click Unofficial, and below that it's selected All, so it's showing PvE and PvP servers. Select it on All, as if you've got PvP settings and it's selected as PvE, your server won't show. If you have put a password on your server, click Show Password Protected Servers. Then yours and all the best servers are hidden behind Show Player Servers, so click that on. And in the top right, do a search for your server name. A partial search will be fine. And there we go, there's my official patron server. I click on it. It shows that I've installed the Winter Wonderland mod. Click Join. Put in my server password. Click Accept. You'll connect to your server. And there you go, you should be in game. If you can't find your server at any point, Wildcard might have put a game patch out, so you might need to update your server. Or you might have some of your server search filters wrong, like you've selected PvE instead of PvP server, or all. Or sometime in the future, Snail Games, Wildcard and Nitrado might try and screw you over to stop you hosting your own server, and if that ever is the case, please give them hell. But apart from that, you should be playing on a much better server now. So hope you enjoy it. Step 9, final bits and reminders. I'll give you one last reminder of how to log into a virtual private server. You've saved a remote desktop connection to your taskbar. Click it to open up. You've already saved your login details, so click connect. The certificate pop-up window comes up. I'm going to click on the don't ask me again because I know the server's safe and it's mine. Click yes. Wait a second for it to connect. And there we go, we've connected to our virtual private server. Now I can start the server, shut it down or update it whenever I like. The files you need to change your game settings are .ini files. On your virtual private server, the full extension ini may be hidden. If that is the case, in Windows do a search for hidden, select show hidden files and folders, and click on display the full path in the title bar. Plus you can click on show hidden folders as well. Click off hide extensions for unknown file types, then click apply. And now those two files have got .ini at the end. Plus you can see any invisible folders. Remember, the only difference between installing the server software on your own second PC and a virtual private server is that because Windows Defender is on the virtual server, you'll only get this warning pop-up, instead of those Norton antivirus ones on mine. Click more info, then click run anyway. And that's the only pop-up you should get. The Server Creation Tool exe file will get updated and new versions will come out over time. To update the Server Creation Tool.exe, all you got to do is simply download it, then replace the old exe with a new one, and you'll get the new functions. And don't forget, if you wanted to rent a virtual private server, use my link and promo code in the description box below. You'll get 10% off the first month, and you'd get a lot better server than you would by using Nitrado. If you need any other help, you can go to the Ark Server Creation Tools page, just remove releases and the web address, scroll down and he's done a basic guide of how to install the program, and what ports on your router you might need to open if you're installing it on your own second computer. If you have any problems, ask people in the comments box below and try and help each other out, and check the answers to see if I solve your problems, but hopefully you shouldn't have any. And that's everything I know. This was an extremely important video to make, as I wanted you to be free to have your own servers. Explaining everything as simple as this was extremely hard to do, and almost took 2 weeks of work. So please show your appreciation, and show me it was worth it by liking, subscribing if you're not already, clicking the bell notifications on all to get notified when I upload and stream next, share this video with your friends, communities, forums, etc. There's links to my Patreon and merch store, as well as a link to get discount on a virtual private server. I'll put the code lines in the description box below, and to Ragon's Server Creation Tool page. Thanks to him for making it, and I hope everything goes well for you and your server. Thank you for watching, goodbye.